Really weird stuff. That's very weird.
Really Weird Stuff is a holistic Twin Peaks podcast. That means we discuss each episode within the context of the series as a whole. In other words, spoilers abound. Welcome to Really Weird Stuff, episode 5. I'm Jessica Baxter.
I'm Amy Green, or you can call me Annie Malone, whatever.
And with us to talk about Twin Peaks Season 1, Episode 4, The One-Armed Man, is one half of the wonderful X-Rated podcast, Ryan Whedon.
Hi. I came here to chew bubblegum and talk about Twin Peaks. And I'm all out of bubblegum.
Nice.
Good thing, because it would be really distracting if you're chewing bubblegum
Oh,
at the
gross,
time.
yeah.
I don't know that I would listen to a podcast about someone chewing bubblegum.
What if that's like a fetish, and then
I'm sure.
someone's...
Type of ASMR.
Yeah.
It's not like
Loud bubblegum chewing.
Yeah. I don't know. Anyway, tell us about your relationship to Twin Peaks.
Well, Twin Peaks, I had watched a smattering of episodes in my 20s. Most of season 1, I think, and then here and there season 2. But I remember when it was on TV, because I was like 4th or 5th grade, and I just remember being everywhere, but I wasn't allowed to watch it, I was too young. Somewhere in there, in my 20s, I watched Fire Walk with Me, because I was just going through all David Lynch's stuff, and then the pandemic happened, so last summer, me and my partner at the time just decided to watch the whole thing, and so I watched it start to finish.
Nice.
Including The Return and Fire Walk with Me at the end, so...
Yeah.
It's all pretty fresh, super fresh for me. It was a good experience, yeah.
That's great. We definitely talk about where to watch Fire Walk with Me, and I think the best we've come up with is basically like after every episode, you just watch it again. I do like doing it at the end. I'm pretty adamant that you end with it because it's makes it so cyclical at that point.
Yeah, it feels like that's where it belongs.
You flip-flop, though, because when Logan and I started...
Yes, I said you needed to start. It was a theory. It was...
Fire Walk with Me.
Yeah.
So Logan watched Fire Walk with Me before starting the series. So.
They were like my experiment.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I didn't know it at the time.
Well, now they're totally committed to that.
Oh, that's
Because
interesting.
the argument against it, obviously, is that then you know who killed her. And it's
Right.
like, but that's not the point at all. Not
See,
at all.
I love that. I
That's
love that
really
it starts you
leaning
out
into that
knowing
idea.
that that's not the point.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think that the reveal is the point, necessarily, of the show. Like, it's all about the mystery and the journey that you're going on. And that happens in early season 2, doesn't it? Yeah. So it's like, that's not even what it's about. So I don't think it would ruin it to know.
Right. And it's more like about who she was, not like who did it to her. You know?
Right, yeah.
Why she was able to affect this town so much, everybody in the town, and why a spirit that's basically the ultimate evil would be so desperate to corrupt her.
And I don't want to jump to the very, very end of The Return, but, like, I like that ending so much because it's like, no matter what you do, she's still gone. Like, that's how I interpreted the ending. You can't save her. So to end on that note always felt like the right touch. So I almost like ending on that more than like ending on how Fire Walk with Me ends.
Yeah. And especially because I feel like Fire Walk with Me is such a weirdly optimistic ending for Twin Peaks.
Yeah.
Like, there's no way that her spirit could be at rest forever.
Yeah. I like it better that she's gone and we're just stuck with that fact.
I do
That's
love that. I
so.
feel like I should ask other guests how they interpret the ending, since it is a spoilerific conversation.
Yeah, I didn't know how much we could talk about.
Yeah,
this.
no,
Okay,
that's
on
the
this
whole,
episode.
that's the
Okay,
thing, as
okay.
we are talking about everything in the big picture.
Okay.
Yeah, and that's what's so fascinating about it. About the series, I mean, not about our podcast, but hopefully that will be hopefully our joy for that viewpoint translates. Well, we can start talking about the episode then. The One-Armed Man originally aired May 3rd, 1990.
I would have been in 4th grade.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
But you
4th or
weren't
5th grade.
watching it at the time.
I was not allowed.
Yeah. That's
Which,
probably good parenting. I
Yeah.
should not have been allowed, I'm sure.
so I think it aired on like a weird night, like I want to say Thursdays or something. So like it was water cooler talk on Fridays or something, or maybe it was early in the week. I can't remember, but I remember watching shows up until Twin Peaks, and like once 9 o'clock hit or whenever it aired, my parents were like, to bed.
Yeah.
I can't watch this.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, I just want to, I don't know.
Now I really want to.
Now I really want to see what this is.
Want this water cooler talk? Be part of it.
Ugh. The opening theme, of course, like that's very
Yeah.
iconic. And then like Mystery was a PBS show. I don't know if you ever watched that, but it was like Edward Gorey animated.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. My parents would let me watch the credits, and then they're like, get to bed.
Wow.
So just the opening credits were Edward Gorey?
Yeah, and they were animated Edward Gorey.
Okay.
So, it's pretty cool. But it was like a murder mystery show or something.
I'm sure if it was on PBS, it was like nothing.
Oh,
but
yeah. I'm sure it was like Agatha Christie or
Yeah.
stuff like that. But...
Oh, a dead body! Oh my dear! Yeah, the episodes that are not Frost or Lynch are interesting because they're always very plot heavy.
Mm-hmm.
It was written by Robert Engels. It was directed by Tim Hunter. A lot of little mysteries get solved. A lot of characters make moves. Connective tissue. I do feel like Lynch and Frost must have been overseeing every episode at this point pretty closely because there's still beats that only they would have known needed to be hit. I really do wish we could know how much conversation was happening in that writer's room. Unfortunately, David Lynch will never tell us.
Not like to explain.
Sometimes Mark Frost will, but I just...
Fly on the wall.
Yeah. Oh my god. Very much so. So it opens in the Palmer home with Sarah describing the vision of the man she saw at the edge of the bed to Andy, surprisingly, because they said earlier that Hawk was the sketch artist.
Right, and I even wrote it down as Hawk, and then we were
Yeah.
what is Andy?
Yeah.
Oh, that was Andy.
Because they for sure say in earlier episodes, like, we'll have Hawk draw it. He's the sketch artist. But Andy's actually not that bad.
No.
I'm so impressed that they make that happen together. I don't
Yeah.
even, I don't feel like I could describe a person well enough that then somebody could draw it.
Yeah.
And it's
How
like,
do sketch artists
that's
do it?
him,
How do they
you
do
know?
It really makes me want to
Also,
try
I
it.
don't get how yes, but I don't get how sketch artists do it. I also don't get how the describer does it. How the witness.
Yeah,
Well, especially-
eyes.
I
Yeah.
know. I'm like,
He had 2 eyes. I'm pretty sure there were 2.
Then there's a nose that comes down from the middle.
Underneath it was the mouth.
Yeah, like that. You got it.
Yeah.
right, because I always say that, like, that's my little term is someone is your describe-alike, but not your look-alike. As a ginger, too, like, you have a lot of describe-alikes, right?
Yes, yeah.
You would describe me and Aaron pretty much the same, but we don't look alike at all.
Yeah.
So I don't get it. I'm already at a loss.
Yeah.
And it looks like Bob. Like, because I know
Yeah.
what Bob looks like, and it's
Looks
like,
like
yeah,
Bob.
that's pretty
It
good.
looks just like it. Later when Coop is like, the eyes are...
That's what I was going to say.
Sorry.
I want to see the sketch next to actual Bob and see our Bob's eyes a little bit closer.
God damn it, dishwasher. Okay. I feel like Cooper is being a little bit of a dick in this episode again. Now that we're like really noticing everything, I'm like, Coop, maybe I had a little bit of like rose-colored glasses on for you sometimes.
Like to see him do better, like actually see him draw it, maybe.
Yeah,
I
right?
thought he was thinking about that, about the sketch. I only just don't like him in the,
No, I know. We'll get there. We'll save that for a little later, because that's a whole thing.
I mean, while we're still at the Palmer's house, I love Grace Zabriskie. Sarah
She's
Palmer is
amazing.
one of my favorite characters.
Yeah.
She's a great Lynch actress. She acts like Diane Ladd in Wild at Heart, just like kind of in her own movie or show, I guess if you want to say, but like I don't care. Those eyes and the expression she gets out, like I love every time she's in it, like when it says special guest Grace Zabriskie.
Yeah.
Bring
she's
her on.
always 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So intense.
My
Oh my
question
God.
about that scene, why is Donna there?
I wrote that down too.
Yeah.
Why is Donna here but to hear about the necklace vision and look guilty?
Yeah.
I know. Like, I would think that Donna would never want to go there again after that weird interaction where Mrs. Palmer thought she was Laura. And that was really freaky. I felt kind of bad for Frank Silva in that scene, the way she was describing him, because she's basically just describing Frank Silva.
His hair was long, filthy gray on gray, long hair. He looked like an animal.
Had you ever seen this man before?
No, never. His face. My God, his face!
He looked like an animal. Gray on gray, filthy. Like, that's just the dude.
Aw.
He can't help it if that's how he looks. And he allegedly was
I'm
like
sure
really
he
sweet.
Cleans up nice, you know.
I don't know. I think he literally always looks like that.
It's like, yeah, that image of like evil incarnate for so many people.
Yeah.
It's, like, probably a really nice guy.
I know. God, what would you if you like saw him somewhere? He's dead now, but like, what if it were like in 1990 and you were in LA or wherever and you were like at a I don't know,
Walgreens or something.
and you're like, oh my God,
Right.
is this really happening?
That would be very unsettling.
Yes. And he was like shopping for ceiling fans at Home Depot.
Wine.
Oh my God.
Yeah. That could
Thank
be
you.
worse than ceiling fan.
Oh, and then Leland is interesting because he's
Yeah.
definitely disheveled looking.
Messy. Now, does Ryan know about the messy and the neat?
An important thing to know about the rewatch, and that we're talking about a lot so far on this pod,
Okay.
is that you know when Bob is in Leland pretty much from the beginning, because that's when Leland's all like, his tie is done up all the way, buttoned up, his collar's always really pressed at that point, and his hair is really slicked back. Like
Okay.
he's in business mode.
When he's Leland.
When
Oh,
he's Bob.
Oh, okay.
And when he's Leland, he's all disheveled, he's crying and wanting someone to dance with him. So in this scene, he's acting like a dick, though.
Yeah.
He's not acting like sad old Leland, but he's definitely very disheveled in a robe and a collar.
Yeah, I was like, Leland, messy and mean. Interesting.
Yes.
Yeah.
And he's making fun of her visions, and it seems like that's something Bob would do because he'd want to discredit her.
I don't know. I mean, I think maybe Leland just really does think this is some bullshit. And Bob would know, like, this
Maybe-
is completely accurate.
Yeah.
You know?
But doesn't Madeline say later, like, Uncle Leland's just staying up all night listening to old music, so maybe
Yeah.
they're just really tired and cranky.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
It's Bob that likes the music, though, which is funny. Like
Oh,
like in
yeah.
season 2, anytime he's definitely Bob, he's like singing a show tune.
It's true.
He starts singing show tunes with increasing regularity, actually. Maybe that's just something he and Bob have in common. They're like, well, we started hanging out because we both liked show tunes.
That's how he picked
He's
Leland.
like,
It's a
do
slippery
you like to
slope.
play with fire, little boy? And do you like Oklahoma? Yes, on both accounts. Sarah seems confused by Leland's behavior a little bit. She's like, Leland?
Yeah.
Which I don't know why she wouldn't be used to him being really erratic by now, but...
Yeah.
So then she talks about her vision that she has, which we were earlier a little unclear. Was that a vision or was that something that was just happening? And it was both. I guess that's what a vision is.
Right.
Yeah.
You're seeing something that's happening. It's funny that she says the necklace is broken in half, because that's what they were supposed to do, those necklaces.
Right.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's come up before. Like, people are like, it's a broken necklace. Like,
Right.
no, it's like a
Half of
best
the
friend
thing.
necklace.
Like, did no one ever go to Claire?
I
Yeah.
This is not some just spooky lynching thing.
It's not like somebody's trying to return it at Claire's. Be like, I need to return this. It's broken.
It's broken.
Ryan normally says,
I don't know what to do with this. I don't know anyone named this.
Invitation to love.
This is a long clip of him.
Yes, we get a lot of plot.
Boy, Lucy, what's going on?
Thanks to Jade, Jared decided not to kill himself, and he's changed his will, leaving the towers to Jade instead of Emerald, but Emerald found out about it, and now she's trying to seduce Chet to give her the new will so that she can destroy it. Montana's planning to kill Jared at midnight, so the towers will belong to Emerald and Montana, but I think she's going to double-cross him, and he doesn't know it yet.
What's going on here?
I wish it kept going through the whole show. It's just the best meta comment on the show itself. 'Cause it's just like, this is such a soap opera. Especially having it so early in the episode and seeing like all the drama that's going on with all these characters. Like everybody has a secret love affair in this episode. I'm like, I didn't
Totally.
realize everyone is having all these affairs with everybody. Or has some secret to hold. It's like, it just feels so soap opera. And Lucy, is it Lucy? Who's in the station? Like, describing what's going on. I'm like, oh, it's like the show. It's like what we're
Yeah.
watching right now.
And then Harry says, what's going on here? And it's
Yeah.
like, well, a lot like what you just said.
Exactly. I just wish they would have kept it going through the whole show.
Yeah,
So
they did. I don't
fun.
remember when they trail off with that. Maybe it was just like a budgetary thing. Like, we can't really afford to keep producing a whole extra show within a show.
How much of Invitation to Love have they covered before this?
Not a lot. Maybe 2 episodes ago, they established that the patriarch is suicidal, and that there's twins, and one's an evil twin, and then there's a guy named Montana.
Okay.
And we knew Chet.
And Chet, we just seen Chet.
He just doesn't look like a Chet.
He doesn't. He's a nebbishy guy, not a beefy guy.
Okay.
He wouldn't be a Montana either, so you couldn't swap their names, but...
What if Netflix produced Invitation to Love as like a 10 episode show?
Oh my god, I'd watch that. Matt Berry would be involved somehow, I assume. Yeah, that seems terrific.
God, what a plum roll to get to be Jade and Emerald.
Yes.
Love reboot.
Oh my god.
Michelle Williams.
Oh my god. That would be amazing.
Yes.
Are you greenlighting this for me? Is that what's happening right now?
I can get Michelle Williams, I think.
Don't fight it, Chet. Thanks to Jade, Jared decided not to kill himself, but Lucy thinks there's going to be a double cross. Harry says, what's going on here? What's going on here is that Lucy's mad at Andy, and no one knows why.
Is this the first time that she's mad at him?
Yeah.
Okay. Because that goes on for a couple episodes, I think.
Goes on so long. It's one of the most convoluted and needless plots. And I'm so
Right.
glad that they stopped doing that eventually.
Yeah.
Suddenly Lucy's calling him Deputy Brennan and she kind of loves to waffle back and forth between being concerned with him if he's been hurt in some way. Are you okay? And as soon as she finds out he's okay, back to calling him Deputy Brennan.
Yeah.
But they've been lovey-dovey up until this point.
Flirtatious. Yeah. There's a deleted scene from the pilot where they're at someone's house, one of their houses. I thought it's Lucy's house, actually. And she's like knitting and he's playing the trombone. Yeah.
Necessary. But cut that.
Yeah, I don't
Everything
know. I mean, Lynch wouldn't cut anything, I'm sure.
Oh, I've seen Inland Empire.
Yeah, it's in the conference room. Jacoby is wearing those blue and red glasses. I think this is the first time we see those.
No,
Okay.
I feel sure we've
I'm not sure. They're just so iconic. But anyway, what those things do is they let him use both sides of his brain to see everything clearly. He's doing a ping pong ball trick.
Golf balls.
Golf balls. You're right. That's really big.
Yeah.
He
I was
gets one
watching-
coming out of his mouth.
It is like, it's just sleight of hand, and like at one point his hand passes in front of his mouth, and that must be when he puts it in.
Yeah.
But he does it so fast.
That's the sleight, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, good job.
Yeah.
It looks
So he
well done.
must really be doing that, I assume. That's like a thing that Russ Tamblyn can do.
I did a little research.
Oh.
A teeny, tiny,
like,
teensy
what's
little bit.
the-
And yeah, Russ Tamblyn came with the trick and was like, can I use this?
work this in.
Yeah, and they're like, yeah, let's just do it. So it
Hmm.
was something he had already like figured out how to do, and they just like added it to the show.
Wow. Isn't that fun?
Yeah, that is. I love how collaborative David Lynch can be.
Right. Yeah, he does seem like,
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
Go ahead, let's use it.
Right.
He's talking all sorts of weird stuff.
Ugh.
He
boy.
says there's some sort of
So tiresome to me.
Hulu we can do around doctor-patient confidentiality. What does that mean?
I think hula.
Oh, hula?
Well,
I thought he
he
said...
said Hulu, and then the captioning said hula.
I know, but the captioning is
very
it's
subtle.
whack.
It's a little
Did you
spotty.
guys-
It was a little spotty.
But
Yeah.
I think because then he mentioned Hawaii.
That's
after.
right. Well,
Yeah.
Hawaii, if you.
Yes, of course he says it like that.
You know, my abiding interests lie to the east as well, but only as far as Hawaii. The ancient Hawaiians often turned to the soothing rhizome of the ginger plant to ease the pain of profound confusion, which, more often than not, was sexual.
Ginger is non-addictive. Cocaine is.
Look, the fact that Laura Palmer sought medication, no matter how dubious, was actually a positive sign.
Like, what?
Yeah, so confusing. Doesn't he end up going to Hawaii or something?
Well, so he
That's
grew
something.
up there. He
Oh,
was
okay.
born in Twin Peaks. His dad was in the Navy, and they moved to Hawaii. And he went to basically like grade school in Honolulu.
Okay.
And then his dad died. His dad left or died. I can't remember which. Then when his mom died, he moved back to Twin Peaks
Okay.
to study Native American tribes and care for his brother, who'd been diagnosed with MS. And that's when he established the practice. He moved there in 1981. So it's kind of a little fresh, I guess, for him still, the influence of the East-West islands.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's real annoying about it.
He's annoying about everything. I feel like I'm never not annoyed by Jacoby.
Yeah, the problems of our entire society are of a sexual nature. That's a little bit of a
Also-
generalization.
What are problems of a sexual nature?
Agent Cooper, the problems of our entire society are of a sexual nature.
They were boys, Laura was a woman. That's disgusting.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Laura was 17.
That's the kind of thing
And
you
he's
say
an
when you're like,
adult-ass man,
yeah, that's
you
the kind of
know?
thing you say when you have a, like,
That's like an
You're
excuse.
justifying,
Right.
yeah.
Yeah.
A grown-ass man saying a 17-year-old girl is a woman, that is a lot of red flags.
It is. And well, I'm sure that's what prompts Coop to be like, did you sleep with her? And I'm sure it wasn't for lack of trying. Although Laura, in the Secret Diary of Laura Palmer, she does kind of say a similar thing about her feeling like a woman surrounded by boys. But still, that's not fair for Jacoby to say.
Right.
And especially if it's something that she said to him, it's not cool for him to say that.
oh, yeah.
I mean, it's very different for
Yeah.
a teenager to call themselves a woman versus,
Right.
you know.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Because then that just feels like, oh, she said it first, there's my in. Like,
Yeah.
now I can move in on this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's pretty gross.
Pretty gross.
Yeah.
It's very
There's
gross.
no way that that's not gross. Also, I feel like he's, like, not a good psychiatrist. If
Well,
he's just
yeah.
like, she was a woman, like that.
Also, the
like
part
your
where he's like,
professional assessment.
it's okay that she was addicted to cocaine because at least she was self-medicating.
Yeah, it was good that she was...
Cool.
Yeah,
That's a cool perspective.
Hey, I know some people that chew on ginger root, so it's kind of the same thing, right?
really.
No wonder Coop is tenting his fingers when they first cut to him. Like, how much of this bullshit has he already been listening to
Right.
until this point?
Unbelievable.
Oh, and then his poor choice of words when he's like, I wasn't able to penetrate her secrets.
Yeah, that was...
Ew.
Yeah.
Laura had secrets. And around those secrets, she built a fortress. Well, that in my 6 months with her, I was not able to penetrate. And for which I consider myself an abject failure.
Ugh.
Yeah, he's one of those, like, you know, if there's a sex pest scandal later, is like he was giving some clues. He was showing you what he was. you
Yeah.
know?
Doesn't he turn into like a crazy like right-wing golden shovel? Is that?
I don't think he's right wing. I think he's
like
like
libertarian.
ultra
Libertarian.
left, whatever. I don't know, like the bad kind of left.
Yeah, I feel like he's hella libertarian. Like,
He's definitely super anti-government. Like his rants are all.
Yeah.
He's very vague about them, but he's like, the fucks are at it again.
Yeah.
The fucks in Washington, blah blah blah.
I guess these are the seeds of that.
Yeah, he's just
I exist
so-
outside your rules, man.
Exactly. Like, how convenient for a cis hetero white man to have that
Right.
perspective.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, especially when he's seen the other side living in Hawaii. I'm sure he really understands inequality now. But he does give one piece of useful information, which is that he tailed a man in a red Corvette on the night of Laura's murder. That's the only useful thing he says in his entire time there.
Does Leo Johnson drive a red Corvette? Yes.
And then last thing he says is, hang loose, Howleys.
Yeah, but he does like a squeezy thing with the hang.
Yeah, he's not doing it right. Gordon Cole calls.
Gordon Cole!
yay! That's a real vertical exclamation voice. Yay.
Good morning, Gordon. How we doing?
Cooper, where do we start? The Palmer girl or Albert's new best friend, Harry Truman?
The captions are crap, but I do like that they bold Gordon Cole's lines.
Yeah.
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 That's really funny. A little caption joke.
It's kind of cruel to make him on speakerphone, because like speakerphone is hard to understand. I feel like when somebody's talking to me on it, so
Yeah.
poor Gordon is probably like,
Sure, in 1990,
Yeah.
speakerphone, yeah.
I just feel like it's a little cool.
That little box, it doesn't look good
No,
either.
it doesn't.
This is the first Gordon Cole.
This is it. This is the introduction.
Yay. Do you think Albert was going to come on later too?
Yeah.
Okay, that was always planned.
Albert's been there already.
He's already-
Oh, okay.
There's
okay.
some incidents with Albert, Harry. Well, they discuss
Talk
it.
about it, yeah.
Yeah.
His
The
sucker
pissing-
punch of
Yeah.
Harry, where it was like... Or
It was the slowest punch. He
Ah!
sucker punched me. That's not what that word means.
I like Albert a lot as a character.
Oh, we love
so-
Albert, yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah, Harry sucks, and he's being very unreasonable about this thing. He punched a man. He could have used his words. He was
Everybody
just jealous that
needed-
Albert was using all those Shakespearean insults.
Everybody should have done better communication in that scene.
That's true. There was a lot of men just shouting and not understanding each other.
Six-way pissing contest.
That's a lot of urine.
It really was. With a dead woman in the middle of the room. Gross.
I watched this show with my brother Kevin, who noticed the messy tie thing. Like, we watched it when it was on, and it just sort of happened that somewhere in the middle of Twin Peaks being on, we rented Sunset Boulevard. And so, like, there's a character going, we're like, oh my god, that's David Lynch's character on Twin Peaks. So it was really a fun way to discover that.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
You were like the
Wait, I
first...
never made that connection before.
There's a character in Sunset Boulevard named Gordon Cole, and that character is named after the character from Sunset Boulevard. Like, it's not a coincidence.
Oh my god.
And then way late
That's
in
one
the
of his favorite
return,
movies.
that's like what triggers Dougie
right.
Jones. Like someone like it's on TV and they say Gordon Cole and he's like Gordon Cole.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I love it.
So it was such a fun real-time discovery for us.
That's the old-timey way for IMDb facts, too.
Right.
Uh-huh.
Then you had to, like,
You had
phone
to learn
somebody to
things.
tell them.
Right.
Or write them a
Everyone
letter.
Right.
I like in that scene when he says, I'm a strong sender.
I had an intuition that my dream and Sarah Palmer's vision were connected. I didn't go with you this morning because I didn't want to influence her. I'm a strong sender. The eyes were a bit closer together.
Yeah, he says it in a kind of hot way.
Yeah.
I'm like, tell me more about that.
I feel like it doesn't have to tell me that. He is a strong sender.
Show, don't tell.
Yeah. I mean, he can tell too. That's good.
But before they have that conversation, I am a little upset with Cooper for just defending Harry so hard and being rude to Gordon, who's just passing the message on.
Albert wants this guy's badge, Coop.
Gordon, here's how it is. You know Albert. In my opinion, Sheriff Truman displayed the patience of a saint, not clocking him a day earlier than he did.
He wants his file with the U.S. attorney.
File it under F or forget it.
Cooper.
And you tell Albert that if he wants to pursue this, I'll fight him all the way up the chain to Washington.
Don't get excited.
I'll talk to you later, Gordon.
Now.
Gordon is his boss.
Yes, he hangs up on him.
Why is Coop going to bat so hard for Truman?
I know. They've known each other 2 days.
Right. Albert's the best at what he does. And, like, he also warned Truman. He warned him ahead of time, like, you know, Albert is a little rough personality-wise, but he's the best at what he does. Like, why can't Truman just shake it off? Like, he doesn't know him at all. It's not about him. Like, who cares?
Just
you know?
be cool.
Like, Truman gets so worked up so instantly. Like, I've had enough of your insults. It's like, shut up.
That's
you
true.
know? Obviously, I get why Harry doesn't like Albert. Albert is not nice to him at all, but why does he care so much? And why does Coop defend him so hard? Why isn't Coop like, can you just chill out? Like I told you, just ignore him, you know? Yeah. Like what you would say to a child.
Harry and Coop kind of have blinders for each other. I do believe that two straight men can have like a meaningful relationship, but they're just like so crazy for each other instantly in a weird way that you wouldn't really be about with somebody you just met.
Right. It's not clear to me why it's mutual. You know, like I can see why anyone would be crazy for Coop right away.
They have a kind of diehard blind loyalty to each other after 2 days that like that somebody who'd known each other their whole lives would have. It's really, maybe it's because of the strong sending.
I mean, and Harry hasn't done anything helpful for this investigation, you know, like no connection with Ronette. No, she definitely didn't do cocaine.
Yeah. He just follows Coop around and pats him on the shoulder and is like, "You're doing a good job. I don't like Albert."
Maybe that's why he got upset with Albert. He's trying to prove himself to Coop.
He's like getting embarrassed. Yeah, exactly.
So he's trying to impress his new friend that he really likes.
I just don't get why it works.
I know.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Although I feel like maybe Harry's rubbing off on Coop in a bad way with the explosions and yelling at his boss. And then I do love that he tells Hawk how to follow someone. He explains trailing. Follow him if he moves, which is important.
You do have to tell Hawk that.
No, I do love it. I truly love it. Because of earlier when Hawk's like, I lost him. He went through a door.
Right.
The one-armed man at the hospital. Right after Harry goes, he's the best tracker we have.
Right.
Yeah, is Hawk good at his job?
I think not.
I'm starting to think not. Sometimes he is. Sometimes he's like the only one who's actually doing any paperwork. But I don't think he's as good of a tracker as everyone seems to think. I mean, like maybe they shouldn't be putting him on that anymore.
It's a desk job rather than out in the field. Yeah.
Maybe he and Lucy should swap places.
Hey.
Lucy gets so giddy when she's out in the field. She fucking loves that shit.
She does.
Yeah.
Going back to the Coop and Gordon Cole thing, even if Coop is determined to defend Truman, why can't he just say that in a reasonable way to Gordon Cole, who is his boss? He needs to just drop it. Things got out of hand. You know Albert, he was going really hard on him.
Right.
Let's just drop it. He's fine.
There's like a machismo to Cooper that I think is coming out in this conversation
Yes.
that I don't think I've seen before.
I know. I think it's Harry's influence.
Yes. He's in the woods now. He's like out with
Mm-hmm.
the sticks, and so he feels like he has to prove something.
He's going all Justin Timberlake, Man of the Woods.
Yeah. I mean, he's staying in that like woodsy log cabin thing. Maybe it's all just kind of...
There's a shotgun above his bed
Yeah.
being held by two hooves.
Yeah.
So strange.
It's just all coming out.
Yeah. They talk about the twine. Finley's fine twine. Gordon says also that the marks on the shoulders were bird bites. Albert faxed over a reconstruction of plastic fragments from Laura's stomach. It looks like a poker chip from One-Eyed Jack's, which at least Harry knows about One-Eyed Jack's.
Yeah.
Like, that's 2 times now he's come in with useful information about One-Eyed Jack's. They should get up there with disguises on. I'm just saying.
Definitely disguises are pretty key for some reason.
So Andy comes in with Hawk's sketch. No, I'm sorry, I read that wrong. Andy comes in with his sketch, and that's when Cooper kind of shades it a little bit, like, I thought the eyes were a little further apart in my dream.
Yeah, you're seeing a dream.
Dreams get things wrong.
Yeah.
I do like how instantly he's just like, this is the man in my dream.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, that's it.
This is the man I saw in my dream.
You saw this man?
Like, he's not at all surprised by that, which he said he was expecting. But, you know, it's like, you had a dream about some man, and then someone else is like, I had a vision of a man. And
Can you give me some, like,
you're not even a
whoa!
little bit
Oh
like,
my God.
yeah, I like it. But
He knew it.
He's just like, yeah, okay.
That's
yeah.
more of that. That's how
Called
he.
it.
Yeah, that's how he likes to impress Harry. Because that's what he does all up in the pilot. He's like, he's not the killer. He's not the killer. And Harry's like,
They're bromance.
yeah, that's how they flirt. Hawk says he found the one-armed man at the Timber Falls Motel, and I love this exchange about how long is it going to take to get there.
Traveling east on Highway 12, how long will it take us to reach the Timber Falls Motel?
Half an hour. Minutes. Depends how you go.
Which also, like, when Coop asked, he had already said how he would go. I like it, though. I feel like Andy's a more safe, chill driver.
Yeah.
He doesn't need to take the highway, you know? He knows some of the back roads.
I also extra appreciate that because that's kind of a conversation that my husband and I have. He likes to get on I-5, and I fucking will not get on I-5 at all costs.
No, it's right there. I'm practically looking at it.
Yeah, it's right there, and it's usually full of stopped traffic.
Exactly. I hate it when an Uber or a Lyft takes me on I-5. I'm like, just avoid it.
I know.
You don't need to do it. It's not faster, and it's more stressful.
Yeah, I know it's the same price, but like, Jesus Christ, why are we doing this? I know. I don't want to give them directions, though, because that feels...
Yeah, that's true.
But I do want to. I just don't do it. So at the Timber Falls Motel, surprisingly, Catherine is there with Ben Horn, and she wants to burn the mill already.
You would prefer the lumber baron's suite at the Great Northern.
I prefer getting on with setting the torch to that damn mill.
Burn it down.
Their lounging around in bed looks are always so wild and incongruent.
They don't look like they were post-coital at all.
They never do. Yeah, they have the weirdest sex life.
She has like layers on. I feel like she's put a cardigan on top of a blouse.
And they're like on top of the bed. They're not even under. The covers are messed up or anything.
On the
Like,
bedspread, yeah. If a motel that she's complaining about how dirty it is, so fucking take the bedspread off already.
Yeah.
well, maybe the sheets would be worse. I don't know. I do like in this scene that he explains what's going on with the mill, because I'm always only half getting it, and then it's like, okay, so we want it to look like Josie burned it down for insurance money. Thank you for
Yes.
spelling that out.
Yeah.
What on earth is he talking about when he has this Elvis?
Oh, God.
Let me know if there's any bloodshed. I'm going to give little Elvis a bath.
It's either a sex toy or just weird for weird's sake. I have no idea.
Well, okay, here's
Do you know?
my...
Do you have...
I don't know. I have a theory, which is like that maybe in the script it says I'm gonna give little Elvis a bath and he's like talking about his dick. But then the censors or somebody was like, he has to have a little Elvis or it's too dirty.
That's a good theory. Yeah.
Because this was on network television in 1990. And then they're like, it's fine because it's David Lynch, so it'll be weird and no one will question
Yeah.
it. But of course everyone's gonna question it because what the fuck?
It kind of takes me out for a minute. I'm like, What is that?
What?
It's like in the pocket of his robe.
Right next to his One-Eyed Jack's chip.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
So-
Why does he never cash out his chips? That's
Like
money.
$1,000
I know.
chip, too. Yeah, that's a lot of money.
I guess he's rich, so that's nothing to him.
And
but
he's always
that's like
going back. And then to cash out because he's coming back.
that still drives me crazy though. Even if that is like because money's meaningless to him, you're not really even supposed to leave a
Yeah, I
casino
don't
without cashing your chips.
I don't think they're supposed to leave.
Yeah, but I guess he owns the place.
Yeah.
He can do whatever the fuck he wants.
Yeah.
So the police show up at the motel. They're about to knock on the one-armed man's door, and they're like, oh, as they get there, they're like, by the way, his name is Gerard, which I think is kind of funny to throw in.
He's here at the motel. Room 101. Last name is Gerard.
Andy drops his gun.
Mr. Gerard, it's the police. Open up.
Jeez.
Oh my god, Andy.
Andy, yeah.
It's a pretty funny reaction from both Harry and Coop. Yeah.
I feel like this moment, I don't want to jump ahead too far, but they end up like busting in. This seems like a moment where you go to the manager's office and are like, we are the police, we need to talk to this guy, can you let us in? It's not a break down the door situation.
Right, he's not the murderer.
Wait for him.
Yeah. It's a questioning
Yeah.
situation.
It's like, knock, boom, we're coming in.
Mm-hmm.
Don't move. Oh my God. Keep your hands where I can see them.
I mean, is now the time I say that this is an ACAB moment?
Oh, this
Yeah,
is, yeah,
this
you're
is-
right.
What the fuck?
For
you go
sure.
to the manager and they get the key and they open it up for you.
Yeah.
And then you can talk to the guy and you don't have to fix the lock later. Like,
Yeah.
what the hell? I was pissed.
Yeah, you should. Yeah, that
I
is
also
very
feel like
fair.
They didn't even wait for him to come to the
Yeah.
They
You didn't
didn't.
have a chance.
He was clearly like trying to get dressed, and he has
Yeah.
one arm.
Yeah.
Right. Also, it's like a gun just went off. You know, it's
Yeah.
like a gun goes off at my door. I'm like, oh yeah,
You're not
let me
gonna
come-
open it wide.
Yeah.
Please come in. You know?
And they know he has one arm, so they should give him another little more time, maybe.
But then they forget again, or at least Harry does, because he says, "Put your hands in the air." Like
Yeah.
you were here to find the one-armed man.
Yeah.
Right.
Just
Oh,
think
boy.
about it for one fucking second.
They seem surprised when he turns and
Yeah, and then Harry
One
and
arm.
Coop look at each other like, "Oh, he's only got one arm." Did you think it was just like an ironic nickname or something?
Like when a big guy is called Tiny.
Yeah. Everyone's doing a terrible job this episode. They show Gerard his name is Philip, by the way. I just think it's so fascinating when characters have the same name as characters later. I just love that. And there's a lot of that in this show.
Yeah.
There's 2 Mikes, 2 Bobbies, 2 Philips now.
Okay.
Philip Gerard sees the sketch of Bob and he's like, no, I don't know that guy. And they're like, but you have a friend named Bob. And he says, oh yeah, Bob, he's my best friend. Bob Lydegger.
Mr. Gerard, you have a friend named Bob.
Bob Lydecker's just about my best friend in the world.
Why have you been at the hospital the past 2 days?
Bob's in a coma.
There was a Lydecker assaulted 3 days ago outside a bar in Lowtown.
That's Bob.
Is your friend Bob a doctor?
He's just about the best darn veterinarian in these parts.
His line deliveries are really interesting in this scene.
Yes.
I mean, I kind of like him as an actor.
Yeah.
Maybe this isn't fair, but I was just thinking, as a person with only one arm, like your acting opportunities are probably lessened, which isn't fair, but it's just the way things are. And so I feel like he's really like, oh, this is my chance to shine. Like he's really like leaning
Yeah.
into it. I don't know if that's what the case is, but it felt that way to me. So.
Well, I definitely he's giving it his all. But I also think that I know David Lynch didn't direct this, but like how much would he tell him about who his character is or is going to be?
Yeah.
Does he know at that point that he is like, because the things he's saying could be lies.
It's true.
And he's just about, uses that phrase a couple
Yeah,
times.
he's just about my best friend in the world.
Yeah.
He's just about the best
The best vet.
Yeah.
And there is the sheen of the 50s innocence that Lynch likes coming from the guy. It's like, gee whiz.
I know. I like that. He's such a good friend to Bob Lydegger. He really talks to Bob. My best friend. He's the best friend.
And how funny that he has a best friend named Bob in IRL. Or is he really best friends with Bob? He knows about Bob Lydegger
Does
as
Bob
a,
the Vet
I
come
don't know.
back? Or do we see Bob the Vet ever? Okay. So they could be friends.
Yeah, they could be. And he is also a shoe salesman.
Yeah.
Like, there's the whole thing later where he's taking schizophrenia medication.
Mr. Gerard is?
Yes.
Philip?
Yes, okay. Philip. And that's when he turns into Mike. Mm-hmm. When he doesn't get his medication.
Okay.
That's actually where the name of the podcast comes from, because that's the medication is what Gordon Cole says is really weird stuff.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So is he playing a schizophrenic in this scene? Like, I just want to know how much... I'm just interested how much the actor had.
How much information did all these actors have going into any episode is a pretty good question.
Yeah. Well, you know, generally the way David works is you only get the scenes you're in.
Okay. And for that episode?
Yeah, but sometimes he will tell people things.
Okay.
But then he won't talk about it, so it's like... So he lets the actors talk about it sometimes. You just have to get what you can and put it all together and savor it.
I'm going to choose that it's a choice that he's doing. I think he knows, the actor knows what's coming, so... That's how I'm just going to choose that path.
You know, I realize now that he must know because he did already shoot the international pilot.
Okay.
Yeah. Aha, the things that you remember when you talk it through.
Ta-da.
He must have already known that. Love it.
While we're just in the hotel room still, I just want to mention another ACAB moment is Andy opening the suitcase.
Yes.
How'd you lose the arm?
Car accident. I was on the road from Memphis to someplace. Selling pharmaceuticals. A pretty good job. That's what I'm selling these days. Everybody needs shoes.
They're all for the right foot.
It's my sample case.
You were definitely not allowed to do that.
Don't fiddle with stuff.
Right.
Like, what are you doing, man?
Yeah.
I love Andy, and I hate him in this episode. I'm like, pull it together, man.
Yes.
You're embarrassing me.
Touching things.
He's been feeling a little high-strung lately. He just definitely, gets real flustered when Lucy is mad at him.
Yeah, okay.
He really holds him together.
I don't think that's a good reason to be. It just is what happens.
Yeah.
I think that's pretty bad. You shouldn't take your personal life on the job, especially if you're a police officer.
Yeah, somebody who's armed.
Yeah, literally carrying a loaded gun. That's not great. Philip says Bob's his best friend. He's in a coma. They don't really revisit that much either. He tells him where the guy's a vet. The men return to the car, and Hawk tells Harry that he saw Josie Packard taking pictures stalking the motel, he says. It's funny that he points out the oil stain in the ground, and then he's like, I saw her. Like, why are we looking at the oil stain then? I feel like Hawk fucks with them sometimes. He's like, ooh, it's my mysticism. Just kidding. I totally saw her. She was in the car. That's why he's the best tracker in the biz.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Because he uses his eyeballs to see
Not because he
things.
ever catches people.
Also, I a little bit feel like Hawk's a little smug about it. Like, your girlfriend is shady as fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But good, you know.
Yeah.
I mean,
They're looking out for
anytime
him.
you want to take Harry down a peg.
Because she really is, though. It turns out. At this point,
Yeah.
she's acting sweet as pie, and she's very cute, but...
I was really happy when Josie turned into the drawer. I was like, good riddance.
Right.
She's such a boring character. I'm sorry. I don't really like Josie.
I like looking at her, but that's about it.
Yeah.
She's very cute. Like
It is
Joan
cute.
Chen is just so cute, but the character is pretty dumb.
I guess it's cute later in the episode when she says, I'll give it a run for the money or whatever.
Yeah.
Run at the money. Yeah.
Run at the
Like her
money.
getting things a little wrong.
That's cute.
And you see her through
There for-
Pete's eyes sometimes.
Yeah, it's almost like I feel like she and Pete have a good rapport together. Like,
Yeah.
you know,
Okay,
but
yeah, that's true.
anyone else? And
But I bet she'd fuck Pete over if she had to.
oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Which is not okay.
Yeah. Call me when you're a drawer, Josie.
What happened to Josie Coop?
What happened to Josie?
Twin Peaks High School. Audrey is walking into the bathroom.
Great
Smoking.
Bathroom. Great bathroom.
Yes. Why
That's
is
a
that
really
painted
cool
in this
bathroom.
fun way? Like,
Well, the hallway has that stripe all the way down it too. That's just like the
Yeah.
motif at this high school.
Looks good. I like it.
It does look really cool.
yeah.
It's like a heartbeat.
I've been doing some research. In real life, there is no algebra.
Maybe you should run away and join the circus.
Donna's just in there doing all kinds of shit. Like, didn't she get ready at home?
Yeah.
She got so much to do in the bathroom.
She brushes her hair forwards and under. Goodness. I'm worried about her roots there. Like, she's just going at it.
She might be a compulsive hair comber. She might be going through more than we can see.
Yeah, that's possible.
Audrey's little interrogation is so fucking cute. Yeah. She's just cooping it out right now.
Yep. It's the jazzy music underneath the scene, which is so fun.
Or maybe he'll realize that I'm the woman of his dreams because I'm going to help him figure out who killed Laura.
Is that so?
Yeah. Fact, Laura was seeing James Hurley behind Bobby's back.
What if she was?
So it is true. I didn't know Laura half as well as you, and I knew the score. Laura was wild. Come on, will you help me?
Oh my god, I love her so much.
There's a line that really stood out to me that Audrey says that she had a sweet tooth for nose candy.
Yeah. Fact, Laura had a sweet tooth for nose candy.
Yeah.
Something about that poetry.
That's the line written by someone who's never done cocaine, I think.
Yeah.
It's just like, this is what the kids say.
It could also be the flip-flop of Audrey trying to sound...
Oh, like a hard-boiled detective.
Hard-boiled,
yeah,
totally.
Like, she had a sweet tooth and nose candy.
Yes!
I like that.
Oh my god, I like that interpretation too.
That's good.
Yeah, I bet she loves, like, PBS mystery. Cute. Donna big sweater watch.
They both look like college students in this scene. I'm like,
yeah,
there's no high school going on here.
Audrey is so excited about this whole. She's just
Audrey's so horny.
Kind of. She's so horny for mystery.
Right.
Yeah.
But when she's talking about like her working at One-Eyed Jack's, just the thought of it.
Think about Laura being in a place like that, and I get all shivery. But it's like a hot cold, like when you hold an ice cube on your bare skin for a long time.
Audrey, I'll help you. But whatever we find out, we have to promise to keep it between ourselves.
It's a deal. And I know exactly where to start. Did you know that Ronette and Laura worked in the same place?
No.
The perfume counter at my father's department store.
She is so turned on by that.
Totally. She's into it.
Also, but why does nobody know that Laura worked at this store? Donna doesn't even know that Laura worked at the perfume counter.
That's very surprising.
Like,
Laura had a lot of secrets.
Secret
It's
jobs.
a retail store that people can go in, right?
Wouldn't you run into her? Someone would run into her.
Or
and...
also not something that you would keep a secret. Like Laura has
Yeah.
lots of secrets, but if you work retail,
Yeah.
you cannot keep that a secret. You know? Like,
No.
People walk in the store, book secrets out. You know?
Shit, that was supposed to be a secret.
Can you cover for me on this?
I see someone I know.
Right.
Laura, why do you keep ducking down behind the counter?
If anything, this job would be like a cover for her stuff she's really doing. Like,
Yeah. I have to go to work.
Yeah.
Is what you say.
It's just weird that no one knows that.
It is.
In this scene, Audrey says it like it's this piece of information. She's like, get this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
That's
Donna
so-
is like, oh,
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, you're right. That is really weird.
And Audrey didn't know it before. And she didn't know Ronette worked there either.
And the cops didn't know that.
There can't be that many people in this high school.
Maybe people aren't as interested in Laura as they think they are. They just have this image of her and they don't really know her, details of her life.
Yeah, that's definitely true.
Apparently.
Yeah.
I like in this scene how Audrey's holding her cigarette, by the way. Because it's either a choice by Sherilyn Fenn to be like, I'm a teenager and I'm just starting smoking, or Sherilyn Fenn doesn't know how to smoke and she's like doing it funny. I'm going to choose to think the first one. She's doing it because it's cool, but she's not looking cool doing it.
Yes.
Good choice, I think.
Yeah, that's a good observation about Audrey. She's definitely trying to play all kinds of roles here.
Yeah.
And she probably thinks it makes her look really cool.
She doesn't even get close to finishing it and then like tosses it in the sink. Like, I think you're just doing it to look cool.
Well, good. I hope she never got addicted to cigarettes.
Yeah.
She had enough problems.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it might not have ended up mattering, though. Cigarette
That's
thing,
true.
right?
Give the girl a cigarette.
Right.
I like the exchange about, have you ever heard of One-Eyed Jack's?
Isn't it that Western with Marlon Brando?
It's a good one-liner.
Yeah. We're at the courthouse where Norma is waiting for Hank to, I guess, show up for his parole hearing.
She looks good in that purple outfit.
She's so pretty.
Great.
It's good outfit on her.
It sucks that she dressed up just to do this instead of something fun.
No.
Right.
Because she doesn't want to be here. Hank's annoying, stupid speech about fate.
A car in perfect condition goes out of control. A vagrant nobody knows is killed while sleeping by the roadside. Why did fate deal me this hand?
You were not incarcerated for an act of fate, Mr. Jennings.
I accept that. But it was fate. Maybe in an odd way, even luck that sent me to prison, just as much as the car accident.
What is your point?
And I'm really surprised that the parole board buys it.
Yeah.
Right.
Come on.
They seem pretty skeptical in the room.
Right. I really feel, what is your point?
Yes.
And the only person who's there for support is Norma, and they ask him, like, what are you going to do? And she's like, well, I'll give him a job. And they're like, you'll let him live with you? And she's like, I guess.
Yeah.
They're like,
She gives
oh,
like
okay,
a
great.
non-answer.
Yes, a non-answer.
I can give him a job. The boss is tough, but fair.
And you would live together as man and wife?
Well, he is my husband, isn't he?
It's not even technically a yes. It's just like we are married.
Well, he is my husband.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, he is my husband.
Yeah, definitely one of the motifs of the episode of not answering direct questions.
Yeah.
Poor
That parole board's
Norma.
like, this seems like a good...
Oh, good!
Okay.
We were worried, but not anymore.
Yeah, it sounds like you've got it covered.
Allegedly, he's an inspiration to inmate and guard alike.
Yeah.
Right?
Says Mr. Mooney, who is definitely shady
Yeah, Mr.
as
Mooney,
fuck.
right?
Yeah.
I do not like Mr. Mooney.
He's getting some kind of back-end pay for talking up certain inmates. I don't know what's up with the domino.
Yeah.
Me neither.
That's just his thing. He's got a domino. It's two threes on either side to make the 6.
You needed an object, I think, to associate with Hank. Could be anything.
So that the spooky note at the end is meaningful.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, the other funny thing that the parole board says is we have what we need here, which is like definitely a blow-off line. So it's just... Well, maybe we're supposed to think that there was some shady shit that goes on with him making parole.
Yeah.
Like, they probably wouldn't have done it, but Mr. Mooney was influential in some way. Yeah.
They kind of phrase it weird, too. They're like, we'll make our decision with you gone. I'm not going to do it
Oh.
here now.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, what are you thinking right now about it?
Yeah.
How does it stand? If you had to make the decision, say right now.
Yeah.
What would you do? Oh, and then there's a funny rack focus.
I
Yes.
noticed that,
In that
A
scene.
lot of back focuses in this episode.
Yeah.
That one jumped out at me.
What are some of the other ones?
In the Audrey and her dad scene, I noticed a couple.
At the vet's office, they park at the gas station, which is interesting
Not
because
cool.
the vet's office doesn't. You're definitely not allowed to do that. I
Yeah.
guess they're cops; they can do whatever they want.
A-cab moment.
When they get to the gas station, Cooper mentions that in the dream, Bob and Mike lived above the convenience store. And then Harry's like, I think you'd be afraid to go to sleep at night. Which is true, his dreams are spooky. They're in Dr. Liedecker's office where a llama and other exotic pets are around.
Good llama acting.
That was apparently a happy accident. The llama Coop face-to-face thing.
Oh, it's so good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They just kept it
like,
in.
Looks him in the eye and then walks away.
Yeah, Coop is not phased. That's very impressive.
He's very, Kyle
I
MacLachlan's...
could not hold. I mean, if a llama was that.
I know.
Yeah.
I'd be like, what?
Coop believes the bird that attacked Laura Palmer is a patient at the office. He confiscates the files.
Why does he believe that?
Because he's psychic.
Okay, so they're just going off of a hunch that he has.
Totally.
Okay.
He's like, it's not a coincidence that the one-armed man knows a guy named Bob who's a vet, and Laura had bird marks on her shoulder.
There are plenty other vets in Twin Peaks. Yes, but only one has a best friend with one arm. Harry? In the heat of the investigative pursuit, the shortest distance between 2 points is not necessarily a straight line.
He's making these huge leaps.
That's sketchy detective work, I'm sorry. I mean, I know he's right, but still.
IRL for sure. Yeah. The only reason Coop gets a pass here is because he's definitely like a proven clairvoyant.
He's a strong sender.
Yeah, right. I feel like maybe that's partly why that line is in there earlier too. It's like, okay, and he's about to make some major leaps.
Just go with it.
Go with this. Harry gets a chance to grab Coop by the shoulder meaningfully, which is his like favorite move. He fucking loves doing that. Dealy-doo, commercial break. I like that Ryan called out the commercial break.
They're always so funny to me when you
Yeah.
watch it this way, because it's just like, I can't imagine watching the show when it aired and then suddenly it's like a Crest commercial or something.
Yeah.
Really takes you
I can't get out of this world. What are you doing to
Yeah.
me?
The bird that attacked Laura Palmer is a client in this office.
Yeah.
Double fresh. Double smooth. A little bit of a vibe change.
Yeah, it's so weird to me. saying, it's a whole, like, different way of thinking about making a show than they have to now. Trying to build in commercial breaks. Because you have to think of that. You have to think of, like, okay, we're letting people go on a note, and then we have to bring them back in. And so you can't have, like, important information right after the break. You have to, like, work into it.
Oh my god, it's a whole other type of screenwriting, really.
Yeah.
So that's why they decide when you get back that Shelley and Bobby are going to be making out.
Yeah. We can stretch that as much as we need.
It's not too crucial, it's just kind of fun.
James Hurley. He was seeing Laura behind my back. I'm gonna fix him.
Fix me first.
I definitely love their flirting. They're just so cute. And like, their little baby sexiness.
I know. I love how horny Shelley is. In general, I like horniness in everything. I like how Bobby has such an odd morality in this scene. Like, as he's like making out with Shelley, who is married to Leo, and he was already fucking her when he was still dating Laura, and he's like, that James Hurley was seeing Laura.
Yeah. Well, but on the other hand, who wouldn't want to kill James?
Right. I mean, I do like that he doesn't hold it against Laura. It's almost like they had an unspoken understanding, you know, like he was cheating, she was cheating, like, okay, that's a wash. James Hurley, no, I don't know you, you know.
Yeah. And maybe he's just like, he's not good enough for you to cheat on me with. Cheat on me with someone better, please.
Right. And also, like, I can cheat with Shelley because Leo is the worst.
Yeah.
It's an odd morality, but, like, I can see it.
I definitely wouldn't cheat on Leo's SO.
No.
You don't fuck around with Leo.
Shelley never seems concerned enough about getting caught by Leo. You know? Like, I would be so much more worried about that.
I know. Like Shelley a lot, too. It breaks my heart, because she ends up being pretty tragic, if I remember. I want better for her.
I know. She's, like, resigned to her life. She's like, well, Leo hits me, and he doesn't talk, he hits. She doesn't think he's going to do anything worse than that.
And Bobby's not scared
when
either,
she found a bloody shirt the night Laura Palmer was killed.
I know.
I mean, I think she is probably also afraid of what he would do if she left him.
Yeah.
Which is valid, even just statistically.
I know, and I do feel like Machen Emek has some really good line reads in this episode, too, about Leo, but also how horny she is. It's really cute.
Or how he keeps talking, she's like, okay, I only have half an hour.
Yeah. She's like, fix me first.
Yes.
Shut up and let's do this already. And it's funny that this is like Bobby antiquated speech watch. When is Leo due back? What teenager says it that way? Pardon me, when will your husband arrive?
What shining of the clock.
Also, it's very funny that he has a shirt that has dick embroidered on it, because it's like such a thing that Bobby would do. Like, I just picture him finding that in a thrift store, and it's like, it says dick.
Yes! 100% that's what
so
that
on
happened.
brand.
The camera kind of focuses on the name tag as he's like approaching her. Dick.
Right.
Which Shelley's about to get.
Little Elvis.
Yeah, her little Elvis.
No.
Oh, God. Doodly-doo. Oh, the more important information before that happens is that Shelley tells Bobby that Leo is with that creepy Jacques. Sorry, not Jock. Not that creepy Jock Mike, but the creepy Jacques Renault. Then he figures out, okay, I'm going to take the bloody shirt because he wants to stop them from selling drugs to teenagers at the high school. Again, the morality thing. He's like, that's wrong. You shouldn't sell drugs to teenagers. Even though I've definitely bought them myself, like a bunch.
But I don't think he really thinks it's wrong so much as like, let's get Leo in trouble with the law to get rid of him.
I see what you're saying. He's saying that, like, that's what he's doing is a fact more than, like, a morality judgment.
Yeah.
Fair. All right, here we are at the gun range. Cooper decides that everybody needs to practice their shooting. I mean, it's obviously for Andy's benefit.
Right.
But then everybody just, like, shows off so fucking hard. Like, I feel like Cooper doesn't have to show off extra hard when he knows Andy's not going to do well.
Yeah.
Only 4 hits? Well, I put 4 through the eyes and 1 through each nostril.
Nice pattern.
He makes Andy do an hour of gun practice 3 times a week?
Yeah.
An hour of gun practice sounds like a lot to me.
It does, especially considering how, like, crazy he was just shooting it that one time.
And you're going to go through so many bullets?
Seems like a waste of resources.
Yeah. I want to look at the police budget of Twin Peaks here. It's like, too wasteful.
It does.
I can defend with Coop a little bit of, not the Andy practicing, but the showing off. I feel like, one, he's just someone who can't not do it well. I feel like it's relatable. Some people have like the sort of competitive streak. If I'm going to do something, I have to do it like my best, you know?
Yeah.
Then also, like, right before he does it, like, he's getting a little bit worked up about, you know, women with a broken heart.
Yeah.
I just can't figure her out.
Well, there's no logic at work here, Andy. Let that one go. In the grand design, women were drawn from a different set of blueprints.
Amen to that.
Amen. You ever been married, Cooper?
No. I knew someone once who helped me understand commitment, the responsibilities and the risks, who taught me the pain of a broken heart.
That scene is rough. It's just a lot of dudes and their guns.
Sorry, I think we're going to have trouble talking about this because I think I made from different blueprints.
Yeah. I mean, how can we even have a conversation?
Yeah, we're just so
Don't try to understand. We make different blueprints, but only one can fill you with wonder or something.
One woman can make you fly like an eagle. Another can give you the strength of a lion. But only one in the cycle of life can fill your heart with wonder and the wisdom that you have known a singular joy. I wrote that for my girlfriend. Local gal? Diane Shapiro, PhD Brandeis.
Yeah.
There's a lot of bad stuff in there. My worst is like Hawk's stupid thing that he wrote for his girlfriend who... I still don't know if she's a local. I know where she got her PhD and her name, but he asked you a yes or no question.
Yeah, the follow-up after that is, I don't think you heard me, Hawk. That wasn't what I was asking.
Local gal.
Yeah, and we definitely like never see or hear from her. No. So
Diane, another Diane though.
Yes.
There's no way Laura Dern is Diane Shapiro.
No. I do want to know what the PhD is in. He's so smug about the PhD.
Yeah. Dr. Diane Shapiro.
Cooper's alluding to Wyndham Earle's wife,
Caroline.
And they barely knew each other, too. When you find out later that it was so short-lived.
I was trying to remember who it was, so this is a character we meet?
We don't exactly meet her. He talks about her later. She's his old partner, Wyndham Earle's wife, and they had an affair, but it was like once. And then Wyndham Earle found out immediately and murdered the wife and shot Coop, and he almost died.
All right. When does that come out?
Second season.
Okay.
Closer to the end. And then when they're in the Black Lodge and Annie's in there, you see Caroline and then she turns into Annie. And it's like, he can't save the lady.
I can't remember this now.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's really into saving the lady. A little bit of backstory about Coop, you find out from the secret history, I think, is that he was raised by a single mother, and so there's speculation that he got like white knight syndrome from that, the tragedy of his childhood.
Sure. Well, it's just another woman that he couldn't save.
Right.
Like, no matter what he does, he can't bring her back.
Yeah.
So that scans.
Which is why he just can't let it go. Oh, what year is this? Back at the Double R, Toad is a bad tipper.
Thanks, Toad. Be sure to get this into my retirement fund ASAP.
I expected better from Toad.
How awkward just working at that place in this tiny town with like regulars, and then to have like that kind of situation happen. It's just like, I mean, I worked at a bar with regulars, so I can kind of understand that there's just some people that you're like, oh my god, you're always a terrible tipper.
Yeah.
I hate it when you come in. I just feel like that diner setting, it must be really hard.
That line read, too, to me says that, like, Toad is an annoying customer.
Yeah.
He didn't just order coffee. He was, like, sending shit back to the kitchen, probably. And then tipped her 1 coin. I didn't see what the coin was, but fuck you, Toad.
No onions or special flavors.
Yeah. This tastes like it had onions on it. You scraped it off. Don't lie to me. Shelley and Norma, they're both having bad days. They discuss their man problems.
I've got one man too many in my life, and I'm married to him. Sound familiar?
Have you shared a little talk with Leo?
Leo doesn't talk. He hits.
Shelley is so sad in this episode.
I want like like a bigger reaction from Norma when Shelley's like, he doesn't talk, he hits, you know? Like,
yeah.
She's just like,
unless she just already knew that.
She already
Like,
knew
can
that.
you imagine, like, someone say, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, if someone said that to
Yeah.
you, like, let's keep going on here.
She for sure already knows that,
Yeah.
though. I'm certain that they've, like, talked about it before. I know it's kind of an expository conversation, but they're definitely like, our man problems.
Then why is Norma
Yeah.
like, you should talk to Leo? Like, what does she think talking to Leo is going to do? You know?
She's got some interesting ideas about how to go through life.
She's a little fatalistic, I think.
Yeah.
Well, you married him. That's how it goes now.
He is my husband. He is your husband. That's what she would say. So I guess you're just gonna have your piece on the side forever and risk your life.
Anyway, there's a new table over there.
Yeah. So
in your section. So
stop looking so sad.
Shelley, you gotta scare the customers.
I love how in this scene at the end they're like, we're gonna have a spa day, because at the beginning here, like every episode is one day or something like that. Because I remember them going to the spa. I think that must be the next episode.
Yeah.
So I'm like, what good follow through?
Yeah.
They say they're gonna do it and then they do it.
I'm glad they still do that, because it seems like maybe they wouldn't after after what happens today.
Empty promise kind of thing, but like no, they really go.
Yeah.
And get their
They
hair
really
done
do.
and everything.
I mean, they are already the knockouts of the double
Oh, yeah.
R, though.
No!
It's like they're so big.
Then will be the knockouts of the double R.
Right.
Unless Audrey shows up, I guess.
Right.
Then James comes in.
All sighed, groaned.
God.
Oh my god. You've got to shut the fuck up, James. And he calls Donna from the payphone. She says, come on over. Her dad is having some kind of fit about diet lasagna in the background.
That's pretty funny, the diet lasagna.
Who the heck ever heard of diet lasagna?
Just a sec, Daddy. I'll be right in, okay? It's James. Hi, we're having this church potluck dinner here tonight.
Well, tell them to get over here. I need help. SOS.
Okay.
Mayday. Mayday.
What do you think that is? Do you think it's like...
Well, it's funny. I was thinking how in 1990, diet lasagna probably meant it was like cottage cheese instead of ricotta
Yeah.
or whatever. But now, diet lasagna would mean it's like a cabbage leaf instead of the new,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
We really have led enough.
But like real cheese, like super fatty, terrible
yes.
cheese.
Yeah. You know, no nightshades, so it wouldn't actually be tomato sauce.
Oh my god, no tomato sauce.
I don't know what you'd make it out of.
What is a lasagna without tomato sauce? So I guess that's worth freaking out about a little bit.
Yeah.
Donna says, come over, and James says, I don't think I'll be very good company.
Would you like to come?
I don't think I'd be very good company.
Evergreen.
You think?
Oh, he is
James
the worst.
At least he's self-aware.
This time.
But he agrees to come over after he eats something.
He's getting ready for a potluck dinner.
Yeah,
It's
she
like,
just
I'll
invited
come
you
over
to
after I
dinner.
eat. Yeah.
Well, maybe because he heard about the diet lasagna. He's like, that sounds gross. I'd rather have Norma's food, which fair.
I wouldn't be able to talk shit about the food, so...
Yeah, he just wants Norma food. At the counter, he meets Maddie Ferguson, who looks just like Laura. People tell her that all the time.
Right. Although he doesn't, he just walks up to this stranger and says, "Who are you?" Which, like, you know, like,
Come on.
But like maybe that's been happening to her all day.
maybe, yeah, she
Yeah.
seems unfazed. But imagine someone just walking up to you like that.
How would you know to answer
Who
that?
are you?
A stranger, you know?
It's gotta be weird for her, though, like walking around
Yeah.
town.
She looks like the girl that just got murdered. So.
Yeah. But she doesn't seem aware of it, because she asks him, she's like, do I look like Laura? He's like, yeah.
You think I look like Laura?
Yes.
And she's like, we hadn't seen each other in a long time, as if like photographs don't exist.
Or they aren't everywhere.
And they aren't all over the house,
Yeah.
right? There's so many pictures of Laura in that house.
No, everyone seems to have one.
I do love her big, shiny ass glasses.
Yeah.
She must be nearsighted because she takes them off to talk to people. She says that she and Laura were close as kids and they would pretend they were sisters. That's in The Secret Diary of Laura Palmer as well. But they hadn't seen each other in a while.
James is like so into
He's
her.
just like
Yeah.
gobsmacked.
Like,
This'll work.
Yeah, exactly. Like maybe I'm not as over Laura as I thought I was.
He's like, Donna who? Right?
He really is.
Sickle.
Oh, go ahead.
Well, he goes in the first episode, Laura was the one. And then, no, just kidding, all this time I was falling in love with Donna. And then Madeline shows up and it's like, wait a minute.
Yeah, I didn't know there was another one.
It must just be the looks, I guess.
Right, he doesn't know anything about her.
It's just whoever's right in front of him. That's who James.
Right, Evelyn.
Put a pin in it. I like that Madeline is in the show because it like shows how Laura would fit in with all these other characters if she were still alive, like walking around with everybody. I don't know, it's just nice to see that face not just wrapped in plastic, you know.
Yeah,
totally.
It's like a flip-flop of sometimes like playing the dead girl. It's like some nobody and you never see them again.
Or you're in flashbacks or something.
Right.
And I think they wrote her in because David Lynch liked that actress, I can't remember.
Cheryl Lee.
Yeah, Cheryl Lee so much. He was just like, let's get you on here. Like, let's have you be a character. It's just nice to see her walking around and like what it would be like to have her in Twin Peaks.
Yeah. I love Cheryl Lee. She's such a tremendous actress.
Beam of light there.
She really is. Yeah. She's got such a nice smile.
Yeah, for sure.
Mr. Mooney calls with bad news. Hank made parole. At the Great Northern, Ben is riding a stationary bike in front of a big fireplace.
He wants to get hot.
It's like hot bike riding.
Overdressed with the towel and in front of the fire.
Sweatsuit, yeah.
It's because he's a compulsive eater.
And he's doing it with the door open. Like, I don't understand people who like work out in front of those gyms with like windows and stuff. It's like, I never want to see people when I'm working out. I don't know where his office is in the hotel, but like his double doors are wide open.
It's right, but I think it's right by the lobby. He's talking to Jerry in Norway. He's talking to this other guy in Norway, and then he says, "Put Jerry on the phone." Blah blah blah. Problems with Ghostwood. That's the other boring like business plot. The mill and the Ghostwood development thing. I guess they're linked, but blah, blah, blah. He hangs up. Audrey enters. Audrey rules in this scene.
Yep.
Strange, that super long dress that looks like she's a nut.
Yeah, it's not Audrey's usual look. It's a little extra 90s, like Janine Garofalo.
Yeah, I love it. I mean...
But maybe she puts it on to sort of look more virtuous for her little con that she's running here.
Yeah. She dresses for her scenes.
Yeah.
Sure.
Mm-hmm. I like her in this scene a lot. I like how it's shot too, because it like I think it's a oneer, like a short oneer, but like she's on one side of the bike and then she walks to the other side. It's just well shot.
Yeah, I like that movement. She does move around a lot. She's moving around the bathroom a lot too.
It just feels like she's in control the whole time. Like she's manipulating him. So.
Ooh, I love it. And she is.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah. But I think she also is like being a tiny bit earnest.
Yeah.
She really
sells it.
Does want that dick's approval.
Yeah, I mean, 17, she's got daddy issues, you know.
Yeah, that makes sense.
You always said you wanted me to take bigger part in the business, Dad.
I don't even need to go to college. He's appealing to his, like, this won't cost you any money.
Right. Also, like, I don't want to go to college.
Right.
I just want to sort of low-key inherit everything and make it seem like I worked my way up.
Yeah.
Totally. I'll start at the bottom.
I don't need to go to college. You can teach me the business, and I'm willing to start at the absolute bottom.
All right. We've got some guests already. You go upstairs and start making some beds.
Maybe not that low.
Right, yeah. He's like, okay, so go make some beds. It's like, oh, Dad, come on.
You still don't believe me?
You and I both know that's not what I meant.
With these
Take
nails.
me seriously.
There's a split diopter in this scene, which I like a lot.
What's that?
Brian De Palma uses them all the time, where it's like things in the foreground and something really far away are in focus at the same time, because like the lens is actually made so that you can adjust them that way. And so Ben is like really close, and she's like in the doorway. Audrey's in the doorway, and it's all with one shot.
Oh, wow.
They're cool. I feel like that's a big budget for TV.
It's a special lens.
Yeah.
That is cool. I'm going to look for more of those. Oh, before when he's talking to Jerry, he says, just make sure they don't take eggnog into the pilot. What does that mean?
It's February.
Yeah, why are they doing eggnog?
Does he think that's a Scandinavian thing or something?
Maybe he's like trying to be racist, but not doing a good job. Oh yeah, and he doesn't answer the question. She says, "Are you ashamed of me?" And he says, "You're my daughter."
Right. That's the same. He's my husband.
I'm a dodge.
Yeah. Obviously, I'm ashamed of you.
Little gal, PhD Brandeis. God Right.
And he has a picture of Laura and Audrey on the phone table.
Another person who has a picture of Laura.
Yeah. Let's see. Okay, Ben answers the phone, and that's when he's like, Audrey, you need to leave now. I need to take this call. And he tells the person on the phone to meet him by the river in half an hour and be discreet. How many of you think that Audrey did not go very far when she walked out the door?
Cups her ear
Yeah.
outside the door. She does the thing where, like, pretends to walk down the hall.
Like, softer and softer. Definitely. Oh my god. I'm sure she's doing all those cute little spy things. At the sheriff's station, Andy redeems himself, maybe, hopefully, a little bit by finding the right bird, Waldo, owned by Jacques Renault, he says. And then Gordon calls to say that Albert is faxing a reconstruction of the plastic object from Laura Palmer's stomach. And the fax is a poker chip with a J on it. And Harry's like, oh yeah, that's one I checked.
Yeah.
I know all about that place. That was in Laura's stomach. Ugh.
Yeah.
That means, like, she swallowed it. Like,
Yeah.
you can't shove that down. Oh, it's fucked up.
I know. This gets them right over to Jacques' apartment, which is right next to a tennis court, where two people are playing tennis
At
night in
with
February.
A lot of clothes on.
And Cooper kind of looks at them perplexed for a minute, which is funny.
Fair, yeah. I mean, weird.
But I guess Twin Peaks is a small, weird-ass town. There's just not that much going on.
Yeah.
It's like, do you want to go to the Roadhouse again, or do you want to fuck around? Let's go fuck around. Nobody good playing at the Roadhouse tonight. They knock on Jacques' door. Bobby's inside. He runs. They tell Hawk to chase him. Big mistake.
Loses him instantly.
Instantly. He went into the woods. Where I can't go for some reason.
I feel like he's not even trying. He's just like,
He's definitely not. Cooper finds the bloody shirt conveniently planted, hanging out of a drawer. I feel like Cooper would have noticed that that was weird.
Yeah.
But instead he's just so stoked that...
That's it.
Yeah, the
We got
connection.
it. Blinded by his own hubris. He's like, I knew I was right.
He is a little bit... Yes, that's a problem for him.
Confirmation bias.
Exactly.
Yeah. This is all leading to him making that grave error
Yeah.
in the return. Leo in the woods with his Corvette. Ben taps him on the shoulder. You'd know that long, curly ponytail anywhere.
Is this the first time we've seen Leo?
Mm-mm.
Okay.
We've
I
seen a
couldn't
lot of
remember.
Leo.
He's been the LVP, my LVP before.
I mean, it just seems real intimidating. I mean, he's intimidating anyway, but to see him again... This is the first time I've seen him since watching it last year, and it was just like, oh yeah, Leo's fucking scary.
He's scary. He's very tall. Ben must be kind of tall.
Remember how Ben is like a foot taller than his brother?
Right.
They don't look like brothers.
No.
He's got Bernie Renault's body there with him, and it's not clear if he's like done with trying to hide it because it's just kind of hanging out. But
Kind of look like the rocks that were around it.
Yeah.
Be discreet means kill a guy and show up in a red sports car.
Yeah.
God.
Ben tells Leo to burn the mill in 3 nights' time, gives him an envelope full of money, says he'll get the rest after the mill is burned down, as long as they use really big paper to write the report. He's like, I want 6 feet tall letters, arson. I don't know what kind of report he's thinking they're going to write.
Wasn't he weirded out when he was in the hotel room saying, like, we wanted to say arson caused by...
Josie.
Right.
Instead of
Insurance.
weenie roast or whatever it was.
Yes.
What does he think people are going to write about this?
I'm not sure if he knows how insurance fraud works. Donna and James are kind of in the other side of the woods or wherever they hid the necklace. They see that it's missing. I really like how James keeps digging, even though they buried it so shallowly, as we all remember. He basically just picked up the rock and put it under there. They talk about how it's weird that Sarah knew about it. Donna says that Laura said her mom was kind of spooky.
Laura used to say our mother was kind of spooky. She used to see things. She had these dreams. Laura did too.
I love that.
Yeah.
That's a really good line reading.
That's a good description of
I mean-
Grace Zabriskie.
Yeah.
And then we get to the return, it's like, she's
A little bit. A little spooky. Do you really want to fuck with this? James is very conveniently not telling Donna that Maddie is in town and looks just the fuck like Laura Palmer. Sometimes it's like I really do see her. Like literally earlier at the diner.
Right.
her hair's a different color and she wears
She
glasses.
wears big glasses. But Donna knows, wasn't Madeline there?
They have met,
Yeah,
yes.
Yeah.
That's right, yeah.
Yeah.
But when
James doesn't know that.
But also in the show, it's like they definitely have canonically met, but then they do introduce themselves to each other later. So that's clumsy, but you know, these things happen.
Yeah.
Oh, and then there's an owl there.
The owl.
It's a good shot of the owl.
Really
Yeah. Was it what
the
it
owl's
seemed?
like, shut up, James.
Or...
The owl is 100p Bob.
Ah, okay. So it's not what it seems.
The owl's never what it
It's not an
seems.
owl.
Yeah, there's a lot in the diary about Laura being like, there was an owl there. And the owl is just Bob, like, spies in the woods.
Cool. I really love the love theme whenever it swells
Yes,
up.
me too.
It's always fun because it always ends as it's like slowly like the descending line at the end. It's like da da, and then it always ends. It like gets into boo boo. It goes to the spooky theme.
Mm-hmm.
Like I never hear the like love theme end well. Like they never
Yeah.
do that and then go to commercial or anything. So
Absolutely.
it's always funny that when it comes, you're like, yeah, well, something bad's gonna happen now.
It's just like reminding you this is a dark story.
Yeah, it's just good music writing.
Yes. Thank you for mentioning that. Blue Pine Lodge. Josie's answering the phone. I like that they have one of those hoof gun racks also.
Yep.
Yeah.
You get those at Horn's department store, I imagine. Josie's talking to Harry on the phone. He says, I can't come out tonight. Hey, were you at the motel earlier? And she's like, oh, gotta go.
I miss you. I need to talk to you.
I want to talk to you too.
Josie, were you at the Timber Falls Motel this afternoon?
Yeah, I have to go. Call me tomorrow? Bye.
Oh, you're breaking up.
That's really funny. And then Pete and Josie have an adorable conversation.
Very cute.
It is nice.
It's quitting time.
She makes him a sandwich
With extra mayo. She slathers it on.
Is Catherine asleep?
Yeah.
Good, then give me some mayo with that.
Why would Catherine care whether Pete eats mayo? You know, like, is she really looking out for his health at this?
She probably just enjoys fucking with him all the time.
Depriving him of pleasure.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Sandwiches taste better when someone else makes them, for sure, I think.
Yeah.
It's nice that she's making it for him.
I like that extra little Jack Nance thing where he checks under the bread to see how much mayo is there. You don't write that into the script. That's just an acting choice. It's so great. And he's like so happy. I'm not happy that he's taking a sandwich to his bedroom.
To go to bed. Yeah, he's like, I'm off to bed.
I hate it when
With
people
a
eat in their
meal.
rooms.
I mean, you're just going to wake up 2 hours
Like,
later with indigestion.
Yeah. It's too late. Have something really small if you're going to go to bed right now. Pete asks Josie if she wants to be his partner for the fishing competition because she looks so sporty.
Yeah, she's kind of seductively dressed.
I know.
This conversation
I know.
made, you know?
Yeah.
Like, what are you going to wear? You
Yeah.
definitely don't have a vest or anything like that. Jeans. I bet she doesn't even have jeans.
Mm-hmm.
No judgment. I don't have jeans.
I was gonna say.
But I also wouldn't even. I'd be like, Pete, I love you. I cannot be your fishing partner.
I mean, you don't have jeans, but you have stuff you could wear on a fishing trip.
Yeah, that's
I mean,
true.
same.
You do always look adorable.
Jessica, you know I hate when you say that.
I mean, you're batting 100 for me, so.
They exchange sweet dreams, which is very nice.
Yeah.
Sweet dreams, Pete.
Sweet dreams, Josie.
Especially in a show where people have fucked up dreams all the time.
Yeah, that is nice.
I can see why it would be extra meaningful in Twin Peaks to say sweet dreams to somebody. And then she starts going through the mail, and she finds a letter, and it's a really detailed drawing of a
did Hank
domino.
draw
I think he must have. He had a lot of time.
Pretty
in prison.
good. Yeah, it was pretty
I'm
good.
a terrible drawer, so I'm always impressed, but I mean, you really worked on that.
Yeah.
How long was he in prison for?
A couple of surprise artists in this episode.
Yeah.
Also, how does he know when to call?
Right.
It's so late. And she
Yes.
just opened the mail.
Hello.
Did you get my message?
Yes.
It's kind of coincidence. I do not think Hank is psychic.
Why does he put the domino
Well,
in
it's
his
maybe
mouth?
the thing that Coop said earlier. When two events pertaining to the same thing happen at the same time, you have to pay attention.
Oh my god.
Guess I was the one paying
So
attention.
glad I have you here for that. Thank God. And that's the end of the episode.
A lot happened in that episode.
A lot.
Connective tissue.
It's a lot.
We'll quickly go through the awards.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Roadhouse is proud to welcome
LVP.
I'm going with Jacoby because I just
Yeah.
love him so much, and
That's a fair
really
one. And he does say a lot of gross ass shit.
Yeah. The Laura was a woman, I guess, what puts him over the edge.
I think I'm gonna go with Lucy.
Lucy?
She doesn't do anything.
Yeah.
She's watching TV during her job.
That's true. Why do they even allow her to have a TV there?
Yeah, like, she can't just say, oh, these are organized by pet names, and, like, she couldn't just figure out to start going, I don't know. I feel like she's doing a bad job at her job. And also, just tell Andy why you're upset.
Yeah.
I like Lucy a lot.
It's not anything Andy did, right?
I feel like she doesn't remember
she's pregnant
at some point.
It says she's pregnant.
Okay, yeah.
Why are you mad at him about it?
I know.
And I like Lucy a lot, but this time around, she was annoying me.
That's fair.
She didn't bring any value to it.
No, she didn't do anything. She just was there.
Yeah. Mine's Hank. I hate Hank.
Yeah.
And I'm like just so bummed that he's here now and we're gonna have to see more of him.
The lip domino thing. Is
Yeah.
so
Why does he put it in his mouth?
No. It looks like he's trying to like be sexy and no one's there.
He's been like holding that in his hand all day.
Yeah.
Like, it's all
It's
grimy.
filthy, I'm sure. Ooh, nope, don't love it. And he just puts poor Norma through so much.
I know. She doesn't deserve that.
Ceiling fan award.
This was hard. I didn't think there was much that was scary in this one.
There wasn't a lot of scary.
As always, Bob is real scary to me. So Sarah describing Bob in the drawing, the sketch of Bob, which became like a pre-internet meme, really. You know, I used to have a printed out, "Have you seen this man?" like taped up on my wall.
Oh.
Yeah.
I didn't think anything was real scary in this episode.
Yeah.
That's my runner-up, but I'm gonna go with seeing Leo.
Yeah.
I almost wanted to go, like, maybe my second runner-up would be when Shelley and Bobby are having their scene, because it's like just the threat of Leo is scary to me. But then to actually see him, I'm just like, God, he's so fucking scary. And he would kill. Like, he has killed. There's a body in the scene that he's in this time. He freaks me out. So.
Yeah.
Totally fair. Yeah. Mine, again, I feel like I do this a lot, but just more details of the crime. The poker chip in the stomach was like that fax, I guess. It's just like, fuck.
Yeah.
Albert finds out a lot of disturbing shit about what happened.
Yeah.
You don't have to keep this if you don't want, but like I just remember like I was either watching something or learning about the Matthew Shepard stuff, and I just remember like there was a detail that stuck out where it's like they took his shoes off, they took the shoes with him. And it's like there's something about that detail where it's like, oh, even if he like got off of it, they were gonna make him like walk for miles in his bare feet.
Yeah.
And there's something about the inhumanity of that like really elevates that whole thing to just like total terror level. And so like something like a poker chip and learning that she had to swallow it like because you can't put it in there is really it's fucked up.
Yeah. I mean, I think that is relevant. This is a quirky show, but it is about like a really violent, horrible thing that happened.
Yeah.
Fish in the Percolator Award.
There was a fish in the percolator.
I mean, standout is Andy saying, "I feel so dumb."
Lucy, I feel so dumb.
I was gonna say, you and James both have like an evergreen line. Like, I'm thinking of it, I feel so dumb. You should, Andy. And I do like, he has a really soothing voice. I love Andy's voice. You know, a voice is so important to me.
That's true.
That's the opposite of Sling Blade voice.
Maybe it is the exact opposite because it's like so kind of southern. It's like a nice country.
All right, what's your fish in the percolator?
Oh, I think I want to go with the llama face-off.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It's just good that Cooper doesn't break character and the llama's acting good and well, and I just like it. And it feels weird in like a good Twin Peaksy way.
It's not exactly memed, but it's like that's just a shot you see a lot. You see that still.
It feels like Twin Peaks humor to me.
Yeah. I will go with I don't think I'm going to be very good company. Because that does make me just guffaw out loud every time. Oh, God. And now we're at the MVP.
I'm almost willing to bet we all have the same one.
I would be surprised. Mine is the one-armed man.
Oh!
I really like that scene, you know. I love his earnestness. He's such a good friend of Bob Lydecker, you know. I wanted someone like that in my corner. If you're ever being questioned, they say, do you know an Amy or an Andy?
Yeah.
That's our duality.
Yeah.
You know, they say, oh, she's just the best.
Yeah. Oh, she's just about my best friend in the whole world.
The best, you know, whatever she does.
Yeah.
Preschool teacher, I guess, whatever.
Well, no, you're the best at whatever you do. That's accurate.
Yeah. Well, okay, so I guess we didn't choose the same ones. It's fine. I say Audrey, just because I think this is a good episode for her. Mm-hmm. She is taking matters into her own hands. She's getting stuff done, and she's doing what it takes to find out these answers on her own. She's doing a good job here.
And that goes back to the duality, because she kind of like reads the room. Like, she's a totally different persona talking to Donna in the bathroom than she is when she's talking to Ben later.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like her look and her mannerisms, all of it.
I know, she has so much promise.
I know.
I'm so sleepy.
Yeah. She keeps getting mixed up with the wrong guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's mine too. Okay. Audrey's mine.
Okay.
Absolutely terrific Audrey movement. I love that she takes to the spy thing right away. I mean, it is a little bit to impress Coop, but I also feel like she's really into it.
Oh, yeah.
Like, she's kind of finding her calling. That's the truth part of her speech that she gives to Ben, is like, I really want to make some changes in my life, and I want to do something, and like, what she wants to do is solve the mystery and screw her dad over at the same time if possible.
Yeah.
I love it.
And that kernel of truth is what really sells it. So, and
yes,
it's smart of her to know that that's how she can get in with it.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Good Audrey episode.
It is. Yeah, really I hope she's gonna be okay. So.
I hope her dad doesn't try to fuck her or anything.
Right. All right. Well, thank you so much, Ryan, for coming on.
Thanks for having me. This is a blast.
Do you want to plug your shit?
I have a podcast. It's a movie podcast called X-Rated Movies that I do with my friend Matt Fisher. Stay tuned. He might show up here. And we are currently on hiatus. That might be over by now, depending on when this comes out. But we just get together and talk about movies we like. So, a lot of gay stuff, a lot of neo-noirs, a lot of bad musicals. So.
Yeah, you don't always like everything, I've noticed.
It's a lot of fun, so check it out.
Yeah.
Jessica's been on, and I want to get Amy on this one.
Oh, I would love to be on.
Get the whole Peyton Pugh crowd on this.
It's definitely one of our favorites. It's really funny. All right, thank you so much.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Really Weird Stuff is hosted by Annie Malone and Jessica Baxter. Music by Julie Cruz, Angelo Badalamenti, and Jessica Baxter. If you enjoyed Really Weird Stuff, please take a minute to rate and review us on your favorite podcast app. Follow us on Instagram at Really Weird Stuff Pod, on Twitter at Really Weird Pod, and on Facebook at Really Weird Stuff Podcast. Thank you for listening.